Beep boop. Happy Thursday. It's almost midnight. Check in. So the last video I made was a substitute for another video I made on the same day. I claim to have access to it in the future, but I don't. I hope someone kept it. It was really good. It actually wasn't angry. I remember what I said. I wanted to watch it again, but I can't now because I trashed it just to save hard drive space. Oh. I uploaded it, but it got flagged for some reason. I just wanted to check in. In that video, I spoke about a slide that I attempted to arrest, emotionally speaking, for the sake of securing a future employment prospect for myself, which is a big deal. And the slide has continued. Internally. Externally, people have been really great, really great. But, I don't know, it's just not the same if you don't have a hand on your shoulder. And I guess I'm just too wary to even allow that to happen. So I continue to. It's weird to watch yourself and be helpless. This is very zoomed in chronologically. Like, I will overcome this. It's fine. That's not a rationalization. Yet, it's like an indefinite process. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know what's going to... I'm worried about my cousin. He got hurt really badly. And he's on the mend as well as can be expected. Got some harsh words from some harsh people. And the only thing I can think to say is harsh words inspire harsh words, and like the complications of that. Sorry, I just ate. Are so perpetually novel. Difficult to predict, difficult to control, time consuming. And yet in a way that's like all I know. It's all I've seen for a long time. Or at least that's been like the secret pinnacle of my attention for a very long time now. And the most empirical, if you want to be like that, I guess. It's the most reasonable thing I can think to offer for relation between you and I. The most empirical result of that state, that secret pinnacle of attention, dealing with it for so long, is that like I'm at the point now where I would self-assess, correctly or incorrectly, that my body, its ability to like metabolize the molecule cortisol in my bloodstream is waned, you know. I don't know how to emphasize that appropriately. But that's what it feels like to me now. Imagine being diabetic, but instead of being unable to metabolize sugar, you can't metabolize cortisol. And so that shit is just in you all the time. You know. Psychologically, I'm a stone like my father before me. Physically, that's not enough to me. You know, my body's actually a superb machine, but it has its limits, you know. And I keep testing it. I'm only kind of coming to realize that now. Once upon a time, I was fascinated with the, what are they called? Corticosteroids, cholesterol, cortisol, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. I can vaguely see the hexagonal lattice that describes that family of molecules. I don't remember each member of the family, but I wanted to know about them. I looked it up a little bit. I don't remember too well at the moment, but that's where my knowledge comes from. I learned cortisol was a thing. I came to associate it completely intuitively, arbitrarily, perhaps grossly incorrectly, and perhaps dead on. I wish I knew, you know. I wish I could meet it. It's knowable. If I had a place and some gizmos. That's what I wanted to know about, you know. I learned about ketosis a long time ago. What's the point? I'm trying to go to a place where I could become a doctor. A real doctor, finally, right? For realsies. This guy. For realsies, right? And my attention is just hooked on something else that I can't necessarily control. I kind of can. But it's a dice roll. And to not roll is also to roll. If I make it through this, I will be far more sympathetic than I imagine anyone else could possibly be. Singularly sympathetic towards people whose condition I recognize as being similar to mine in the here and now. Rationally, I'm a good cheer. obviously. That's always the good move, right? But I don't know. Just look at me. Why don't I shave? You know, like why don't I eat? Because I'm stressed. All I can think about is a source of relief, you know. When I'm away from everything, I just fantasize about circumstances that are completely different. They're so far removed from all of this that they're not relatable to anyone. So that colors, well, I guess my behavior. I think everybody believes that I want to like just check out and never come back, but that's not the case. Like this whole time I've just wanted a break, like a real indefinite break. I just have to keep going, you know. And by the time I earn a break, like I'll be so changed that it won't matter. I won't need it, and I won't take it. You know. And so all these feelings of why don't people just give me what I want come up. Colored by impatience. I don't like the way that sounds, but it's the truth, you know. There's another option, you know. I could really push the limit of my own capacity for transcendence in the most genuine sense of the term. Like the amount of letting go I would have to do, the amount of rising above that this entire situation requires. I am unaware of any precedent, any living documented precedent for that. So, in a way, maybe it's an opportunity. In a way, maybe it's something supremely precious that I would have asked for, you know. If I could have had anything, I would have said, please make a world that would force me to become unassailable emotionally, or die. Not or die, but like if that was the price, like so be it. If that's really what you wanted, and something about the circumstance concerning the point of origin you begin at demanded an arduous journey. That would explain my life. That would be everything. That would just, that's what this whole thing was. My entire, I get it. Great. If that's the case, then, well, everyone gets everything he wants. Then I get exactly what I wanted. And if I fail to do that, then I demonstrate my own hypocrisy for not receiving what I directly asked for. A priori, as like a hypothetical architect of one's own existence. You ever think about that? You ever imagine that the life you live, you design before you're born for yourself? Don't go too far into it, but that's just one of those that's like a room in a school of thought. That's a class in a school of thought, as far as the nature of reality. It's a thing I think about sometimes. How well does your current condition and like the direction of your life describe the desire of your deepest nature? Assuming you could have anything. Maybe you wanted something a little hardcore. That's kind of beautiful. I don't know if I believe that. I'm being honest with you. It crosses my mind more often these days, to the exclusions of lots of other things that used to cross my mind. It was just one thought in a haystack of thoughts, and as time has gone on, everyone gets everything he wants. So, I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. If I suffer, it's my own fault. Like if I fail to manage the stressors as well as I can, then that's my responsibility. If I don't eat well, if I continue to smoke, if I don't, you know what I mean? I can control those things for very, very cheaply. Not for free, but cheaply. What I spend is character. It's not exactly willpower, but it's like a combination of conviction and like chutzpah, which are both things that I cherish. So I lack for nothing. I realize this. Yet I bitch at you naturally, like I realize it as it comes out of my own mouth. But it's there, and I have to, if I want to see it reflected. I don't need to be told what to do so much as kind of see ugliness in myself. I don't like it. That's so potent. You have no idea. People perpetually insist on revealing the ugliness of their own character in order to persuade someone else. It's weird. I don't know how that happened. I'm not above that completely, but I see it. The only real thing that holds me back, honestly, is this nagging rational question in the back of my mind. Is this all real? Is this really how it is? Is this actually happening? I've wrestled with that question indirectly. I've just come to through the hypothetical, like allow and then accept in degrees, you know. Like, am I allowed to do this? You know? That happens in my mind. Less. If for no other reason than it's just so unclear what anyone is allowed and not allowed to do on at an absolute level of analysis. Cortisol, failing to metabolize, meditation, diet, hydration, sleep. I ache for the company of other people, and yet I'm in this weird state where, like, what comes out of my mouth is just complaints. Or stifled complaints. Maybe I don't complain at all, you know, but it's there. And whatever you get from me is just a replacement for that. And so there's no bonding that ever happens. What enzyme metabolizes cortisol? Does that happen in the liver? What is it metabolized into? What is the purpose of cortisol? I've never seen a beneficial it's not like adrenaline, to my understanding. It's not like testosterone, obviously, to my understanding. It just sucks, as far as I've seen it described. What benefit is it? Why does it exist evolutionarily? Tell me. What the fuck is the deal with cortisol? What organ does it come from? You know, like... I don't think it's a thyroid thing. It's probably adrenal. What makes cortisol? It's not the pituitary. It's not a thalamus thing. Or a thyroid thing, I mean. It'd be ironic if the liver produced it and broke it down. Does the liver produce hormones that affect systems other than that? Endocrinology is fascinating to me. I'm like, there's so much we could do, you guys. We could make life so much better. Easily. If we didn't treat each other like this. The world could be such a profitable place if you just organized it properly. Yeah. Neurotic people don't forget that when they reach the top. I think that's the other virtue, neuroticism, right? So you have emotional agility, given openness, right? So a closed-minded neurotic person is not going to be much help to anyone. But if you're an open, neurotic person, like, you're likely very introspective. I'm guessing here, and you're likely to be critical of yourself no matter how successful you are, you know. And so you would be a good leader. You'd be less likely to become blind or see things or miss problems, you know, because everything hurts you. But you depend on other human beings to de-stress you. Because it's not in your own nature, your ability to self-soothe. You would need to be taken care of. Not with money, but with attention, time, patience, with investment. You would need people who were invested in you locally and trustworthily, you know. So you bought a Ferrari. So you bought a Lambo, a fucking Maserati, an F1 Formula car, right? It's fucking fast. Under very specific conditions, and if you take care of it with a team of pros. A thoroughbred. A Jaguar. Yeah. Do you like these things? Or do you not? They don't pay for themselves. They don't last very long if they're not taken care of. But they're fucking awesome. And not hardly ever does one drive up to your door and bid you climb inside so you can drive off. Vroom vroom.